Hi everyone, it's Mike Bond with Smart Debt. Today I want to go over the biggest hurdle I see at 50 plus. I'm almost 60. We have longevity going for us. I want to make sure that everyone is in the position to enjoy life in retirement. And part of that is just making sure you're in good debt if you're not all the way out of debt. And here's what I see a lot out there when I'm talking to people. I work both with, individuals, but I also work with a lot of real estate investors. So there's some big monies going out there. The other day I saw someone with over $400,000 in credit card debt. So we see it all from small amounts to large amounts. But today I want to go over the one biggest thing that I just don't think people see or realize when they're in the debt or when they're just looking at what to do with debt. Most people are frustrated, a little bit scared, intimidated would probably be a good word of what do I do with my debt? And we want to make sure you understand what it looks like, what you need to do, and just one of the things that people just overlook all the time. So number one, make sure you understand this is all about simple math. It's not trying to figure out if it's this kind of math or how people calculate it or what people tell you. It's either you're paying less now with what you have or where you're moving to, and you're going to pay less over time. That's the whole trick here, is to pay them less, keep more. So let's look at some numbers. So here's what I want to do. I want to run through some scenarios. We've seen all these different kinds. We'll keep it nice and simple. Let's just say that someone has $20,000 in debt, and we're going to look at 5 different people and what that debt does to impact their lives now, or even just getting out of debt. So we'll put this up on the screen, but here is what we're looking at. So let's start with credit card debt, because there's a lot of people getting into retirement. The numbers are growing on how many people are carrying credit card debt into retirement. So let's look at someone with $20,000, 24%. They are paying in about approximate interest that 1 year of $4,800. 20,000 times 0.24, you get $4,800. That's just what they're paying in interest on that particular credit card debt. But let's say someone has a better credit card, maybe with a credit union or something, and they're paying 16%. So they're paying 8% less. So in that same $20,000, now they're paying $3,200 a year. And this is just an interest. This is not, paying it down or anything. And what you find out is just that interest alone, one person is paying $1,600 less a year. That is pure profit in your life, either to accelerate that debt or to get rid of it altogether. But let's take this even a step farther. Let's say someone comes out and gets a personal loan, goes to a credit union, bank, and gets a signature line. Those right now with decent credit, you're getting about 12% interest, still high, but when you're looking at it compared to the 24%, client number 3, instead of paying that $4,800, who just has stuff on credit cards, is now paying $2,400. So they're paying half as much. They keep $2,400 a year more on their side, on their ledger, instead of the bank's. Because all you're doing is moving money from the bank side to your side by getting into better debt. And once again, this right here, you're talking a couple $100 a month into your budget that once again, you can just go out and enjoy life a little bit more, maybe have a week or 2 of groceries, or just accelerate this debt so it goes down faster. Client number 4, instead of keeping it on credit cards, they're not going to use them anymore. They just move it over to a fixed rate home equity loan. And they're now paying 8% on the $20,000. So they're paying $3,200 less than the person on the credit cards. And I know what people may say is like, hey, but I'm going to risk my house. If you are cutting almost $267 a month off your budget, it should help your life because you're now pumping more money into your life. And if you're thinking that way, you could just take this extra, $3,200 the first year and put it towards the balance and pay it down a lot faster. So far, 4 different clients. One's paying $4,800, one's paying $3,200, one's paying $2,400, and one's paying $1,600. All the same debt, just some people want to pay the banks less and keep more. The last 1/5 is people who move it over to 0% cards. We see this. It's not something that we like because you got to do it every year. But 0% cards aren't 0% anyway because they charge somewhere between 3 and 5% just for the transfer. But if you had $20,000 and you had the good credit and you can move it over to 0% cards, you're going to only pay $1,000 that year for that 5% transfer. And hopefully that transfers for 18 months instead of 1 year. You're going to save $3,800. Just think how fast you can pay down your debt or use that money in your life. And remember, we're talking about just the cost of interest here. This is not paying anything down yet. You still have to do that. This amount of money in your pocket is what the difference is between 5 different people. They're just enjoying more of their life. As insurances go up, as medical bills go up, as food goes up, everything goes up. We have to look and reposition ourselves into better debt. This is just one quick way. I just threw it on here because I love going through this too. Just think if you had $20,000 in savings and the bank is only paying you like a regular savings account 1%. That's $20,000, 1%. They're giving you $200 in interest. But if you had a credit card, you're paying $4,800. What I'm seeing here is the interest the bank is charging is $4,800. They're paying you $200. Maybe they give you 4% because you have a CD, and that means you're getting $800 now, but you're still paying somewhere between, $1,000 and $4,800. And maybe you're in the market and you're making 8%. So you're getting $1,600. So maybe repositioning doesn't really make sense unless you're paying 16 or 24%. You just got to look at your debt, reposition it to where it makes sense for you, but it also has to cost you very little and put you in a better position. As we all go into retirement, as we're looking at retirement, the one thing we need to understand is you're not going to be able to outsave, out-earn high-cost debt. First thing we always say is quickly get out of debt before you get into retirement. And if you're already in retirement, then it's just a quick change. What would make more sense to keep more money in my life? Because, for this instance, say you're getting 8% on your savings and that's $1,600. That's income. That means the government's going to take part of it and you're only going to end up with about $1,300. But what if you're paying $2,400 or $4,800 for the same amount that the bank has? Every year you're losing ground. You're actually eating away at the savings. I just want to go through this example because once we put it up on the screen, people can now look at it, see it, and understand how something as quick and making sure maybe you're with a bank that's charging you 24% of a credit card, and it's like, hey, let's just move over to a credit union. Maybe not get all the rewards and benefits, but right now it's just pay down time, get it off their time, and maybe get 16%. Or move it over to a personal line and pay 12%. Whatever it may be, just get yourself into lower cost debt so you pay the banks less, keep more, and just enjoy life. It's all about freedom. It's about freedom to go out and live the retirement we all want to live, enjoy. If you have any questions, go to smartwithdebt.com. We have some great calculators. We're adding some more. But our whole approach is getting into better debt. Better debt means you pay less now and you pay less over time.